Okay, we're going to head east and come back west and end with a beautiful sunset. We'll check out some plants along the way. These are water lilies. The pads are flat with a small V-shaped slice on one side. These are the native water lily called the American white water lily, Nymphaea odorata. Like the name implies, the flowers are very fragrant. The weedy grass you see growing throughout is a non-native invasive plant called torpedo grass. It's pretty much impossible to get out of the lake or the lawn. Okay, I'm gonna let Mike get a little bit ahead of me because I can't kayak and video with my phone at the same time. The trees on the left are bald cypress, Taxodium distichum. We have two species in Florida, bald cypress and pond cypress. The clumps of foliage with the tall thin leaves are cattails. I think they're broadleaf cattail, which is Typha latifolia. We have two species in Central Florida, the broadleaf cattail and the southern cattail. The palm tree is a native cabbage palm called a sable palmetto. This is water hyacinth. This is a non-native invasive species which is illegal to cultivate or sell in Florida. All the little green things floating on the top are often misidentified as duckweed. It's actually a non-native invasive floating fern called water spangles, Salvinia minima. The plants on the left are marsh pennyworts, and those are native. They will also grow in moist areas in your lawn. The Latin name is Hydrocotyle umbellata. There's some more coming up here on the left. The tall plant with the yellow flowers is a Ludwigia, a primrose, which that one is probably a non-native species since it's so large. The blue flowers are a hybrid blue morning glory that has escaped from those homeowners' fence. There's some more, I'm not sure what that is, some type of aquatic sedge that I haven't been able to ID. And of course a whole blanket of the water spangles. A lot of the oak trees in here are water oaks. I did see a couple of red maples. It's a little bit glary, but I think a couple of the trees on the left are red maples. And there's some more of the water hyacinth that we just went past. The bright green tree foliage on the right are red maples. And the plant in the center, in the shade that we're coming up on, is called a bull-tongue arrowhead. It's a native aquatic that gets really pretty little white flowers and is a great plant to attract pollinators. The Latin name is Sagittaria lancifolia, subspecies lancifolia. And there's another cluster of it. These submerged aquatic plants in front of us are spatterdocs. Nufar advena, subspecies advena. It's an aquatic plant that gets beautiful yellow flowers that are globe-shaped and never actually completely open up. Here's another canal that Mike visited earlier in the day. The large shrubs on the right are a non-native Ludwigia called Peruvian primrose willow. Ludwigia peruviana. It's a non-native that is very aggressive and takes over all of the native Ludwigia habitat. So anytime I find it on my property, I remove it. I'm not sure what that billowing green is on the left, but I believe the oak tree is a water oak. And its Latin name is Quercus nigra. The bird on the power line that's about to take off is a kingfisher. And we have quite a few kingfishers in the canals. It's a perfect place for them to hunt for fish. There's another water oak on the left. These canals are all disturbed home sites, so there are a lot of different non-native plants that I'm honestly not familiar with. So I will do my best to ID what I can. The foliage on the left that's covering that tree and a couple of trees behind it is actually a native grapevine. It's a muscadine grape, Vitis rotundifolia. It's a great habitat plant, but it can be aggressive. So you need to either let it roam or work on keeping it in check, because it can take over an area pretty quickly. And on the left, here's another patch of the invasive water hyacinth. This has a couple of purple blooms on it. You can see some other floating vegetation. It's light green and it has big, thick leaves, and that's called water lettuce. Water lettuce Latin name is Pistia or Pistia stratioides. There's a nice big patch of it on the left. This canal has a lot of it in it. Water lettuce prefers slow-moving to non-moving water, so it thrives in the canals, whereas it's hardly ever seen out in the lake because of the fast-moving water. The plant around the base of this tree, I believe, is an English ivy. English ivy is invasive in Florida, and it's of course a non-native because, hence the name, English ivy. At any rate, all of the stores sell it. Every big box store sells it, and people like to plant it as a ground cover, but it's very invasive. The big shrub right behind that is a tree philodendron. Tree philodendrons are very aggressive, and they grow to huge, huge sizes. I have an article on my website on how to remove tree philodendron. Beautiful scraggly tree right there on the right, I believe is a swamp bay, Persea palustris. And we have a lot of swamp bays in our community. It's a perfect habitat for them. There's another big patch of water lettuce on the right. It's a lighter, brighter green than most of the aquatic floating plants. Looks like there's some more grapevine on the right. I have no idea what that weedy grass is on the left. I still have yet to ID that. Palm on the right just coming into view is a queen palm, and those are available at every box store. It seems like everyone in Florida has to plant a queen palm, or 2 or 3 or 6. I think the one just to the right of it might be a native cabbage palm that someone's hacked the top off. And on the left side, underneath that oak tree, is an immature cabbage palm. Well, I didn't make it up into the canal because the sun's starting to set, so we're going to head back the other direction so we can get the sunset. So stay tuned for a beautiful sunset. Well, that ended up being a beautiful sunset. Well, Mike has his kayak out of the water, and I'm inching closer and closer to the dock, but I can't tear myself away from this beautiful view. It's just so relaxing. Enjoy your green space. See you soon.